Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn? In this session we are going to count vehicles with the help of YOLO5 on our Windows 11 machine. So but before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much, and let's get started. So friends, in last session we successfully count person with the help of YOLO5 and our tracker. Okay, so in this session we are going to count the vehicles, both side of vehicles with the help of YOLO5 and our tracker. Okay, so let's get started. So for that, first you need to install opencv and YOLO5 on Windows 11 machine. Also you need a thonny Python IDE for programming our code. Okay, so I have already created the video how to install thonny, then opencv, then YOLO5 on Windows 11 machine. So I will mention video link, watch video and install thonny, opencv and YOLO5 on our Windows 11 machine. Okay, so for today's session I have created here a repository name is win11 vehicle count. Okay, I will mention link inside description box. Simply copy the link and paste inside the browser, then go to the code, and then we are going to click on download zip. It will download zip format folder. Okay, so then go to the show in folder, right click, then click on extract all, click on extract. Again click on here, and we have here three files. First one is basically txt file, text file. Inside that we have our video file link. Okay, then we have main.py, and this is what our tracker.py. So first we need our video, so just right click and click on open. It will open our link inside a text document. So now just we are going to paste the link, paste it and just hit enter. It will basically open zip format video file. Click download, and we are going to download our zip format file. So friends, as you can see, we have successfully download our video folder. So show in folder, right click, extract all, click on extract. So this is what our file which we are going to use. This is what our video file. So right click, cut, and we are going to move this file inside our main folder. So again go to the downloads, then win11 vehicle count main, again same folder, and just paste here our video file. That's it. Now we have done. Now we are going to open our main.py. There is no need to change anything inside tracker.py. Okay, because this is what our tracker file, which basically assign the ID and track the vehicle. So we are going to mention, or basically we are going to create our code inside main.py. So let's just open our main.py with the help of thonny Python IDE. So go here, and then we have our thonny file, click on open, then downloads, and then win11, again same folder, and main.py, click on open. Okay, so this is what our basic code. I have already write the code, because if I write all the code, video will become more long. Okay, so I have write the basic code. So okay, so this is what our video file, and this is what our YOLO5 by default module, okay, which we call with the help of talk.hub.load. Simple. So then also we have mouse coordinates function, which basically print xy coordinates of our mouse. When we move our mouse cursor on our frame, it will give us the coordinates. Simple. So then while loop. Okay, then we have our resize, this is how we resize our frame. Then we need to call our model, which is our YOLO5 model. So model is basically our YOLO5 by default model. So we call here our model, results is equal to model, and inside that we need to pass our frame. Okay, then we use here pandas method. So result.pandas. Okay, then .xyxy first frame, or we can say first index. So it will basically print us x, y, and x1 and y1, then confidence, class, and names. Okay, so then cv2.imshow method, then wait key method, and this is the basic code. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to start with we need to know the result. Okay, so we need to know the result of this sub function, result.pandas. Okay, as I mentioned, it will show us x mean, y mean, and x1 and y1, and confidence, and all other things. Okay, so let's just print the a, then we will get a better idea. Okay, so if I save the code and if I run the code, so as you can see right now it's downloading our basic model, which is yolov5s.pt. So friends, here it is. As you can see, let me skip one frame, then we will get the idea. Okay, and let me minimize our frame. So as I mentioned, here it is. As you can see, we have here xmin, ymin, xmax, ymax, and the confidence level of detection. Then we have here class number and we have here class name. So of course the video, we have here all cars. So of course, in basically, let me again press here one skip frame. Okay, so let's just press key from keyboard. So as I mentioned, the name is of course car. Simple. So this function basically give us xmin, ymin, xmax, ymax, confidence, class and name. This is our values. So we are going to use this value. Simple. So what we are going to do, in last session, as I mentioned, we are going to use again from pandas, we are going to use iterRows function. Okay, so here now we need to mention dot iterRows, okay, like this way, and we are going to use a for loop. Okay, so for, here we are going to mention for index. Okay, because we have here index, here we have index. Okay, so for index and rows, for index and rows in, and our function result.pandas and all other things. Okay, iterRows. So now if we print rows, if we print here rows, then again we will get the same idea. Okay, so let's just print rows, and if I start the code, and friends, as you can see, we have started our frame, and inside shell, as I mentioned, we have result xmin and their value, ymin and their value, xmax the value, then we have confidence level, then we have a class number, and then we have name of our object. Okay, so now we are going to simply use this xmin, ymin, xmax, ymax values for drawing rectangle. Okay, and then we are going to use a name for our object. Simple. So here we can mention like this way, x is equal to int, because this is the value in float format, so we need to mention int. Okay, so as you can see, this the point is basically floating value, so we don't want a float value, so for that we need to mention here int. So int, inside that we are going to mention rows, and from rows we need here from rows, just a minute, from rows we need here first index. So first is basically 0. Okay, so 0, then same way we are going to copy all other points, so just copy and paste, and this one will become y, of course y, and the rows 1. Okay, again same way, control V, and now we are going to mention x1, and this will become 2. Okay, and then we can say y1, let's just copy and paste. Okay, then we are going to change y1, and then this one will become 3. Simple. Okay, 0 1 2 3, this is the index which we are going to use. This is what our coordinates, xmin, ymin, xmax, ymax. So xmin is 0, then ymin is 1, then xmax is second, and ymax is third. Okay, x, y, x1, y1. Simple. Now we need here a name. Okay, so name, so we are going to mention another variable. So let's say b is equal to string str, and then again we need to mention rows, and inside that we need to pass the name, this one name. So in single quote we are going to mention name. Okay, then it will give us object name. So now we have our coordinates. So for our purpose we are going to simply draw the rectangle. So cv2 dot rectangle, and then inside that we are going to mention frame, because we want to draw our rectangle on our frame. Then our coordinates, so x and y, then x1 and y1. Okay, and then color, so color let's say red. Okay, red, and then we need here thickness. Simple. So if I save the code, if I run the code, and here it is, as you can see friends, we have successfully draw a rectangle on our object. If I skip the frame, just a minute, as you can see there is a rectangle. Okay, so now we have a rectangle and we have class name. Okay, class name. So now what we are going to do, we need to pass our these coordinates, our rectangle coordinates inside our tracker. For that, simply this is for our purpose, so we are going to delete this rectangle function. Okay, and here we are going to create a list. So for that, first we need to mention list. List is equal to empty list. Okay, and then we are going to create a list. So list dot append, and inside that we need to pass these four coordinates x, y, x1 and y1. So x, then y, then x1 and y1. Simple. Now we have our list. Now simply we are going to call our tracker. As I mentioned, I have already created here tracker. Okay, so if you don't know, I have already explained all these things step by step in previous video where we count our persons. Okay, so I will mention that video link also, then you will get a full idea. So now we are going to simply call here our tracker. So tracker dot update. So here we are going to mention idx b box, idx b, you can mention any variable. Okay, idx b box is equal to our tracker variable, this one. Okay, so tracker dot update, and inside that we are going to pass our list. Simple. Okay, then if we print idx and b box, if I save the code, if I run the code, now we will have again four coordinates with the id. Okay, so here it is, as you can see. Let me make like this way. First I need to skip frame. Okay, again. Okay, so if I minimize the frame, okay, here it is, as you can see we have here four coordinates, 1 2 3 4, and this is the id number. Last one is basically the id number, which basically assign for each object, or in this case we are going to say each car. Okay, so now we have our coordinates. So simply we are going to create here for loop. So let's just stop our code. For b box in idx b box, for b box in this idx b box we have all the coordinates, then we can say x, y, w and h. So here because we mention x, so let's say x2, y2 and y2, not y2, y3, and let's say x3 and y3. Okay, x3 and y3. So x2, y2, x3, y3 is equal to our b box. Okay, our b box. And I forgot to mention here one more thing, which is our id. Okay, so now let's just draw our rectangle. v2 dot rectangle, and inside that we need to pass the coordinates. So first we need our frame, then we need our x2 and y2, then we need our x3 and y3, and then we need the color. So color I am going to mention same, red one, and the thickness let's say 2. Okay, if I save the code, if I run the code, now again we have the coordinates, oh sorry, not coordinates, again we have the rectangle, but this rectangle we are going to draw with the help of our tracker. Okay, so if I skip here frame, as you can see we have a rectangle. Now we need to put the id on our rectangle. So same way we are going to create the put text method. So cv2 dot put text, and we are going to put the text on our frame. Then what else we want? We want here our ID, this one. So str string, and inside that we need to pass our ID. Then where we want to draw our ID. So we want to draw our ID on our rectangle x2 and y2. So x2 and y2. Then we need to mention font. So cv2 dot font heart shape plain, and then we need to mention scale. So scale, let's say 3, and the color, let's make let's say blue, 0 and 0. Then thickness, it's 2. Okay, so if I save the code, if I run the code, and as you can see friends, we have now ID for each object, for each car on the rectangle. Okay, so if I skip the frame, as you can see, as I mentioned, we are going to basically count the vehicle on both sides. So let's say this is the upside and this is the downside, okay, of our highway, of our road. So first we are going to count this line, then we are going to count this line. Okay, so here if I skip frame, we need to check the ID. Okay, so here it is, we have, let's say for this car we have here 34 is the ID. So we want to check ID if the ID is still there, if not changed. So here we can say, let's say for this car we have 81, this is the ID. So if I press a button, still we have 81, 81, 81, 81. So we can say here we are going to, as you can see now the ID is changed. So we are going to draw here we are going to draw the polylines, and when our car rectangle WH coordinates inside our polylines, and then of course we have ID is still there, same ID, then we are going to count. Same way for this side. Okay, so now we are going to simply draw a polylines on our frame. So friend, let's just start again our frame, then we will get a better idea. So I have started the frame, and if I skip a frame, so let's say for this car we have 8 is the ID, okay, for the car. So let's just watch. I am skipping frame, still we have 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay, so as you can see now the ID is changed and it's become 53. So let's say for this car 34 is there, still there. Okay, so here we have ID and we can count here, so we can draw here polylines, okay, for this area. So we need to draw a polyline. So let's create first area. So this is what our first area. So here we are going to mention area 1. This is what our area 1. Area 1 is equal to square bracket, and inside that we need here 4 coordinates for drawing polylines. So let's just create like this way, bracket. Okay, so first we are going to, because we have our mouse function, so inside shell we will get xy coordinates. So if I open our frame, so here inside shell we have coordinates 448, 445. So first is 448 and 445. Then next one here 428, 472, 428, 472, 428, 472. Then next one. Okay, basically we are going to draw a rectangle, okay, with the help of polylines. So we have now first this coordinate, then second, then let's say here third one 529, 480. Inside shell, as you can see, 529, 480 for this side, 526, 482. Okay, so 526, 482, 526, 482, 482. Then last one, let's say here in front of this, here 524449, 524449, 524449. Okay, so now we have coordinates. So now we are going to simply save the code, and let's just stop first code. Now we want to draw the polylines. So where we resize our frame, here we need to create the here basically we need to call our cv2.polylines function. So cv2.polylines, okay, cv2.polylines. Then inside that we need to mention frame where we want to draw polylines. So we want to draw our polylines on our frame. Then we want, what else we want here? Then we want here in square bracket we are going to mention np.array, and then in bracket we need to mention area1. So area 1, then np.int32, np.int32. Then after that we need to mention true. Then we need to mention the color for our polylines. So let's say pink 2550 255, and the thickness let's say 2. Okay, so if I save the code and if I run the code, and as you can see friends, here we have a polyline. So let's just keep the frame. Here it is, as you can see. Let's make it more better. So let's say 3. And now as you can see, or because the pink color is not bright, so let's make a yellow. So 255. Okay, now that's good. So as you can see, we have here a polylines. Okay, so if we skip a frame, okay, so here it is, as you can see friends, when our car rectangle is basically inside the polylines, the rectangle size is become basically bigger. Okay, so for that what we want to do, we want to mention our polylines function. Just cut from here, cut it, and we want to mention polylines function here. Okay, before we have cv2.imshow, here we need to mention our polylines function, not here where we resize our frame. We need to mention our polylines function here. Okay, so now if I save the code, if I run the code, now the car rectangle size, or it will not vanish, or the size will not change. Okay, so if now we can check, as you can see, we have still same size rectangle. When our car rectangle is inside our polylines, there is no change in rectangle size. Okay, in rectangle size basically. Okay, so this is the funda. Now we are going to create our function which basically give us the result. So let me show you one more thing. Here we are going to draw here a circle, cv2.circle, then you will get a better idea. cv2.circle frame, and as I mentioned, we are going to mention here x3 and y3 coordinate if these two coordinates of our rectangle inside polylines. So let's just highlight these two coordinates with the help of our circle method, then we will get idea. Okay, so here x3 and y3, then radius let's say 3, then color, let's make color, let's say green. Okay, and then 0, and because we want to fill the circle, so let's mention -1. So if I save the code, if I run the code, so if I am not wrong, as you can see here, we let's just say we can draw circle, just cut from here, we can draw the circle over here, here. Okay, where we have our rectangle method, same here we are going to draw our circle. Okay, and let's make it 4 radius. So if I save the code and if I run the code, and as you can see, now we have circle on this side. As you can see, This is what our rectangle x3 and y3, and as I mentioned, when this circle inside our polyline, so let's just skip frame. As you can see, now our circle is inside polylines, and then we are going to count our vehicle. Again, same method, same. Now for this, as you can see, our rectangle this side, circle inside our polylines. Okay, so this is for our idea. Okay, so if I stop the code, now we are going to create our function. So let's say we are going to use here cv2.pointPolygon test method. Okay, as we use in last video, same method, cv2.polygon test, cv2.pointPolygon test, and inside that we need to mention what we want here. We want to mention our polylines. So we have here at the end this one. So just copy it, all these things. This is what our polylines, copy it, and here we need to mention, just press Ctrl V, simple. Okay, np.array. Now after that, what we want to do, we want to mention here these coordinates x3 and y3, because when these coordinates inside our polylines, we are going to count. So we need to mention these coordinates over here in tuple format. Okay, x3 and y3, and then we are going to mention false, like this way, simple. And we need to create here, this one is basically our result variable. Okay, so if we print our result, okay, if I save the code and if I run the code, so friends, as you can see here, we started our frame. Okay, and if I skip a frame, okay, so right now in the shell we have only -1. Okay, so when our circle, green color circle, if it is inside polylines, okay, so just go like this way. So in shell we will have basically 1. Here it is, as you can see. Okay, just a minute, because we have a mouse coordinates, that's why if I move a cursor on frame, it will show us xy coordinates. Okay, so friends, here it is, as you can see, this one is -1 and this one is 1. When our circle inside polylines, inside shell we have 1. Okay, so we can say if result is greater than 0, then we are going to count. Okay, so this is the method, simple. So let's say if result is greater than 0, then we are going to set the ID. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do, first we are going to create here a new variable. So let's say area underscore 1 is equal to set. Okay, area underscore 1 is equal to set, and here where we mention our condition, if the result is greater than 0, here we are going to call our area 1. Okay, area 1 dot add, and inside that we need to pass our ID. So when our condition will match, it will pass the ID inside this set. Okay, so now we have our ID inside area 1. So simply here we can call, here where we have our polylines function, after that we can call print area underscore 1. Okay, so if I save the code, if I run the code, so right now if I skip the frame, as you can see, we have now one ID, 2 for this car, 2. Okay, so if I go with another frame, and we have now another car which inside our polyline. So now we have 2 IDs. So this one is the 1, this one is the 2, means we count 2 car. So we need here length. Okay, so simple. Now we are going to say here, we are going to create a new variable. So A1 is equal to length of our area. a1 is equal to length of our area. So if we print a1, if I save the code, if I run the code, now we have a count. Now we will have a count. Okay, so right now 0, as you can see inside shell, 0, 1, now 2, now 3, now we have 4. Okay, so we counting our vehicles for this side, okay. So let's just start our while loop. So first what we are going to do, instead of printing, we are going to use here put text method. So cv2 dot put, let's just copy it from here. Okay, this one, copy it, and here we are going to simply paste. Okay, and here id will become our a1. Okay, and what else we want? We want here coordinates for putting our text. Okay, so let's say this is what our polylines. So for this line we are going to mention a count here. So we need xy coordinates for here. So 5 4 3 4 6 7. If I move a mouse cursor over here, 5 4 9 4 6 5, 5 4 9 4 6 5. So 5 4 9 4 6 5, 5 4 9 4 6 5. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are going to change the color. So let's say white. Okay, so if I save the code and if I run the code, and here it is, as you can see, 0. So we have now counted. So let's just skip frame one by one. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so we are successfully counting the vehicle. Now we are going to simply go with our normal video speed. So let's just mention 1. Now it will count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So we count 7 vehicles, 8, and that's it. Our video is over. So we successfully count. Now same method for other side. So let's just create polylines for other side. So save, just we need to mention here 0 because we want to we want a frame freeze. Okay, so now let's say for this side. Okay, for this side. So again, if we want to check the id. So right now for this car id is 6. So if I skip the frame, still is 6. For this one is also 21 21. So somewhere here we can draw a polylines. Okay, so let's just say for here, or let's say here, because let's start again the frame, then we will get idea. Okay, so this is what our circle which we want inside our polylines. Okay, so skip the frame, skip. So here it is. Okay, so let's just go here. Okay, so now here we are going to draw a polyline. So let's take this point. So this is the point, just skip one frame. Okay, so this is the point. So we have here coordinates 714 426 inside shell, as you can see 714 426. So we need to mention again area 2. So just we are going to copy this line, copy it, and then paste same line, and this we are going to mention area 2, and I forget the coordinates. So let's just check again here, somewhere here, 710429, 710429. So first coordinate is 710 and 429. That's it. This is what our first coordinate. Then we draw here. Then let's say here our second coordinates 724 442, 724 442. So 724 and 442. Okay, then the next coordinate, so let's say here here. Okay, so here we have 775434. So 775434, 775434. Okay, and the last coordinate, let's say here 769419, 769419, 769419. Okay, so we have now coordinates. If we want to make some changes, so let's first draw the polyline, then we will get the idea. Okay, so let's stop the code and we are going to draw the lines, polylines here where we have our first area polyline. So let's just copy it, the method, paste, and we are going to only change the area with area 2 and all other things are same. Okay, so make it in line. If I save the code and if I run the code, and here it is, as you can see we have here a polylines. Okay, so let's just check. So we want to count this side. If this green circle inside our polylines, we are going to count. So we want to check if our circle is in, yes, it's in the polylines. Okay, this one, for this one, yes, it's in. So we successfully draw the polylines. Now same function we are going to create here. So let's say, where is our function? So this one is our result. Just copy, paste, and this one we are going to, here we need to mention our area 2, and this one we need to complete the bracket, and here we are going to mention result 1, result 1. Okay, and as I mentioned, same method. So if result is greater than 0, copy it, just go here, Control V. If result 1, okay, now this variable, if result 1 is greater than 0, then area 2 we need to create here first our variable. So this one is area 1. So now this one will become area 2, area 2. Okay, area 2 dot save, just save the code. And what else we want here? We want here our length. So let's just copy this one also and just put here, Control V, and now this area 1 will become area 2 and A1 will become A2, and then again we need to put the text of our, basically this is what our counter. So after A2 we need to mention our put text method. Okay, complete the bracket and then make it in line, and A1 will become A2. And now we need to mention the coordinates for our second counter for other side vehicle here. So here we have polylines, so we can say simply draw here, our counter will become here. So 804411, 804411. So let's say 804 and 411. Okay, if I save the code, if I run the code, now as you can see right now counter is 0. Okay, here for this side. So let's just keep frame 1, 2, third car, fourth car, we count fourth car here for other side, fifth car, sixth one is there, 7. That's it, our video is over. Now simply what we are going to do, we are going to start our loop frame. Here 1, 3, we have 4, we counted for this side, we counted 6 vehicle, for this side we counted 4, now 5th, this side we count 7, now 8, 6, and that's it, video is over. So if I run again the code, now same way you can create for this side also, same way you can create for this side and also this side. Okay, so we successfully detect our car, then we successfully draw the rectangle, then we successfully send our coordinates, our rectangle coordinates to our tracker, then we have ID, then with the help of ID we count our vehicles. I hope you will learn something from this video. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.